Is that a new app? Let's play a game. I say paradise, you say Bali, Maldives, maybe Hawaii if you like overpriced pineapples. Now what if I said Comoros? You'd probably think it's a new sparkling water or a forgotten Game of Thrones character. But no, the Comoros is a real country, an island nation floating in the Indian Ocean. It's the international equivalent of that quiet kid in class you only notice at graduation. The Comoros isn't just unknown, it's aggressively unknown. Tell your friends you're going there and they'll assume it's a fancy suburb. It's nestled between Africa and your complete lack of geographical awareness. In a world obsessed with being seen, the Comoros is a master of hiding in plain sight, and honestly, who doesn't want to be the person with the story no one else has? So, where exactly is Comoros? If you're scratching your head, you're not alone. Most people would struggle to find it on a map without a little help. Grab your phone, open Google Maps, and zoom in, way in. You'll need to, because Comoros is one of those places that seems to hide in plain sight, tucked away in the vast blue of the Indian Ocean. Find Madagascar, that big island off Africa's east coast, then look just north in the Mozambique Channel. There, you'll spot a handful of tiny islands scattered like emeralds on turquoise water. Those tiny specks, that's Comoros. Blink and you'll miss them, but they're there, waiting to be discovered. It's like finding Waldo, if Waldo were an archipelago with a flair for drama and a habit of confusing even seasoned travelers. The main islands, Grande Comore, Moheli, and Anjouan, each have their own personality, landscapes, and stories to tell. There's a fourth, Mayotte, but that's a whole other story. One tangled in politics, identity, and a bit of French flair. They're called the Perfume Isles for their ylang-ylang, vanilla, and cloves. So yes, it smells like a fancy candle with a hint of diesel roasting fish and the salty tang of the sea drifting on the breeze. The name comes from the Arabic word for moon, Qamar, so you're literally visiting the islands of the moon, a name as poetic as the place itself. Getting there feels like a mission to outer space, remote, mysterious, and logistically challenging. Flights are rare, ferries are unpredictable, and the journey is half the adventure. The islands are volcanic, with dramatic black sand beaches, rugged coastlines, and landscapes shaped by ancient eruptions and the restless sea. The Maldives has overwater bungalows, Seychelles has giant tortoises, the Comoros, authenticity, and goats, lots of goats. They're everywhere, adding a quirky charm to daily life. Goats act like they own the place, wandering through markets, lounging on beaches, and occasionally blocking traffic. This is paradise for travelers who find polished resorts boring and crave something raw, real, and refreshingly unfiltered. It's for those who want their paradise with a bit of chaos, and maybe a power outage or two, just to keep things interesting. Welcome to the edge of the map, where confusion is part of the adventure and every day brings a new story. Comoros is a cultural cocktail. Africa, Arabia, and France all mixed together. You'll see women in vibrant Kairomani, maybe carrying a baguette. Official languages, Comorian, Arabic, and French. Good luck keeping up. The Grand Mariage is the ultimate tradition, a multi-day community-wide wedding that can cost a fortune. It's a status symbol, a social obligation, and a festival all in one. For tourists, it's like stumbling into a real-life movie. Chaotic, beautiful, and very real. Unlike Hawaii's tourist luau's, there's no performance here. You're just part of the scene. People are warm and curious. Tourists are rare, so you'll get plenty of stares and shouts of Mzungu. It's charming at first, then you start to feel like a minor celebrity. Here you're invisible on the world stage but hyper-visible on the street. It's an ego trip, and a lesson in humility. The culture isn't curated for you. It's just happening, with or without your presence. That's the beauty of it. If Comoros were a person at a party, it'd be the one in the corner, quietly slipping out before anyone notices, leaving only a faint memory behind. It's elusive, mysterious, and almost impossible to pin down, just like actually getting there. Reaching Comoros is a quest in itself. Flights are rare, unreliable, and often vanish from the schedule without warning, as if by magic. You might spend hours refreshing airline websites only to find your options evaporate before your eyes. Most travelers connect through Addis Ababa or Nairobi, then board a spirited local airline, think propeller planes with character and a sense of adventure before you even land. Delays, cancellations, and the infamous Comorian time are the norm. Here, patience isn't just a virtue, it's your most essential travel gear. Expect to wait, nap in uncomfortable chairs, and swap stories with fellow stranded travelers. Traveling between islands? Your choices are limited. A short, sometimes nerve-wracking flight, or a long, even scarier boat ride across unpredictable seas. Each option comes with its own brand of excitement. Boats are crowded, rickety, and packed with livestock, goats, chickens, and the occasional sheep. It's a bonding experience whether you want it or not, and you'll have stories to tell for years. This isolation isn't just physical, it's psychological too. Comoros feels a world apart, separated from the rest of the globe by distance and by spirit. Here you're forced to slow down. Your carefully planned itinerary will unravel, and you'll learn to embrace the chaos, finding joy in the unexpected and the unplanned. It's a forced digital detox. No signal, mythical Wi-Fi, and your only real connection is with the people around you. Conversations replace notifications and time stretches out. For some it's a nightmare. For others a dream come true. Your experience depends on your personality, your patience, and your willingness to let go. Forget next-day delivery. Here, time moves at its own pace, and schedules are more like suggestions than promises. The journey is part of the adventure. In Comoros, travel is unplugged, unpredictable, and unforgettable. Welcome to a world where getting there truly is half the story. After your epic journey, you're hungry. What's on the menu? Comorian cuisine is a mashup French technique, African staples, and Indian Ocean seafood. The star? Grilled fish, tuna, or red snapper served with rice and a simple sauce. You'll find green bananas and cassava, boiled or fried, hearty, filling, and honest. The national dish, spiny lobster with vanilla sauce, sometimes sublime, sometimes confusingly sweet. Don't expect a foodie scene. Outside Moroni, options are limited, often just what's fresh and local. Chickens run around, and a few hours later they might be dinner. True farm-to-table. Drinks? Fresh juice or sweet spiced tea. Maybe some local rum, but don't expect a party. The food isn't trying to impress, it's simple, unpretentious, and meant to be shared. It's not for Instagram, it's for real life. But you'll probably still snap a picture of that lobster. You've made it to the Comoros, eaten the lobster, now what? This is where the real adventure begins, because here, there's no set itinerary, no list of must-see sites. The islands invite you to slow down, to let curiosity guide your days. There's no tourist trail, no hop-on buses, no guides with umbrellas. You're on your own, free to wander and discover at your own pace. It's a place where you can truly get lost, in the best possible way. The main activity? The beach. Pristine, empty, and stunning. Solitude is the default. You might have miles of powdery sand and turquoise water all to yourself, with only the sound of waves and rustling palms for company. Snorkeling and diving are options, but expect rustic setups. Think Ahmed with a boat and a relaxed attitude towards safety. The coral reefs are vibrant, and the marine life is abundant, making every dip in the water an adventure in itself. Moheli's Marine Park is a magical spot to watch nesting sea turtles. If you're lucky, you'll witness these gentle giants making their way ashore at dusk, a truly unforgettable sight that few places on Earth can offer. For land lovers, hike volcanic mountains. Mount Carthala is the big one, with a massive crater and otherworldly views. The landscape feels untouched, wild, and full of mystery. The hike is tough, but the reward is standing on the edge of a steaming caldera, feeling the Earth's power beneath your feet. It's a challenge, but the sense of accomplishment is worth every step. Or just wander. Explore Moroni's Medina, hire a taxi, visit villages, and practice your French or Comorian. Every street and market is a chance to connect with local life and culture. The beauty isn't in attractions, it's in the moments between. It's in the laughter shared with strangers, the quiet sunsets, and the feeling of being far from the ordinary. It's the wrong turns, the unexpected conversations, and the slow rhythm of daily life. Here, adventure is unscripted, and every day brings something new and surprising. The Comoros is for those who make their own fun, who find joy in exploration and the unknown. It's a playground for the creatively curious. And that's the real magic, discovering a place that lets you write your own story, one adventure at a time. You can't talk about Comoros without mentioning Mayotte, the island that stayed with France. Geographically and culturally Comorian, but politically, it's French. When Comoros voted for independence, Mayotte chose to remain French, a decision that still causes tension. For travelers, Mayotte is a different world part of the EU, uses the euro, and has better infrastructure. It's like a theme park version of Comoros, beautiful but with supermarkets and reliable electricity. For many Comorians, Mayotte is the rich cousin who sold out, a promised land that sparked dangerous migration and social issues. The contrast is stark. After the wildness of Grande Comore, Mayotte feels clean, organized, and expensive. You go from explorer to tourist in a heartbeat. It's a real-life experiment in what happens when one island zigs and the others zag. Mayotte is easier, but it's lost some of the unpredictable soul that makes the rest of Comoros so compelling. Sometimes paradise comes with a price. Let's talk about Mount Carthala, the moody giant of Grande Comore. One of the world's most active volcanoes, it looms over the island, usually quiet but always unpredictable. It's erupted over 20 times since the 1800s, sometimes sending lava to the sea and forcing evacuations. The 2005 eruption vaporized the crater lake and reminded everyone who's boss. Yet people live on its fertile slopes, risking eruptions for rich soil and ylang crops. Hiking to the summit is a surreal experience. Lush forest gives way to a stark lunar landscape. Standing on the rim, you feel the raw power that shaped these islands. The volcano shapes the local psyche, resilience, fatalism, and a deep appreciation for the present. When your home could be buried tomorrow, you learn to live in the moment. For tourists, it's a humbling reminder that nature is in charge. In Comoros, you don't control the adventure controls you. And sometimes nature is in a very bad mood. So, should you go to the Comoros? Honestly, probably not, and that's exactly why you should. This isn't a vacation for everyone. If you want all-inclusive buffets and Wi-Fi, stick to Cancun. The Comoros will test your patience, challenge your assumptions, and maybe give you food poisoning, but if you crave something real and raw, this might be your paradise. Here you can still feel like an explorer, discovering beaches, having unscripted conversations, and experiencing a living culture. The Comoros is the antidote to Instagram-perfect travel. Messy, complicated, and real. The most rewarding trips are often the most challenging. It's the world's best-kept secret, hiding in plain sight. The Comoros doesn't need your likes or approval, it just keeps being itself, and in a world desperate for attention, that's incredibly cool.